Hi, Roger here, and you're watching ViodiTV at WSTA.
The 99th Annual Convention.
We ask that you grant wisdom to our elected world, national, state, and local leaders.
The good news is that the stimulus bill that passed Congress, the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, the ARRA. The bad news is that it's bureaucratic.
The fact of the matter is, it is wholly and completely up in the air.
Wisdom. Perhaps our representatives in D.C. could use a little bit of help in that area. At least that's what I gathered from listening to discussions on the broadband stimulus plan.
AT&T has picked up and said, well, we should be focusing on these other entities that should be entitled to the money, with the understanding that they would be a likely choice to then partner with them. It is helpful to be prepared now, because when that time comes, the time frames are going to be awfully short.
The good news is that it's a lot of money that we're looking at. It's $7.2 million for broadband. The bad news is that it's bureaucratic. It's impossible to apply for these funds at this point.
Local content. What's the value? Gary Evans gave some insights on what they're doing in their community.
Today we want to talk about local programming as a way to differentiate your businesses. It is the best thing that we do because it causes the most smiles on our customers' faces and the most messages of Thanksgiving. Partnerships are very important. We have partnered with our local newspaper, we have partnered with our local radio station owner and his operations in a sense of not competing but being compatible.
Femtocells. I think maybe I need one in my house. Topped off with a iPod in the latest application.
They could use femtocells as an offensive and a defensive strategy, meaning they'd use it across their own broadband networks. It'd be a winning strategy against a carrier that couldn't do that. But sometimes size and scale is a problem for them. They may need regional partnerships with other like-minded ILECs or people like that. Just to get into the wireless business is not necessarily that easy.
Femtocell is really a unique device. It goes into the house. It allows you to take your cellular service and give you excellent quality service in the house. But that alone is not really what you're looking for. As soon as they get in the house, why not trigger the SMS at that point that was sent at 9 o'clock in the morning, then at 3:30 to have it hit her phone and say, do your homework, stack the dishwasher, and put the water on for dinner. That can be done with femtocells.
If I have a Wi-Fi connection like we have here in the hotel, you can get this at your Starbucks, whatever, anywhere there's an open Wi-Fi, and this thing suddenly becomes a phone.
The latest in gadgets. Best Buy talked about some of the new ones they've got. Ann Anderson talked to us afterwards about what they're doing at Lemonwear Valley.
And they're looking to us to provide that broadband connection to make that product or service work. There's been some discussion at our office about the Slingbox product that we'd kind of like to demo it ourselves, and then in turn, when our customers come in and have questions about how it works, we could possibly be able to show them.
Matt Eversman talked about his book, Black Hawk Down, but afterwards he told us what he's up to nowadays.
In between my combat tours, I was teaching kids at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, and it was the first time I realized that the Army is probably the only profession that teaches leadership 2, 3, maybe 4 years before your first day on the job. So I thought when I got home, based certainly on my experiences in Mogadishu and in Iraq, that we need to start now helping young men and women kind of find the art of leadership, not really the science, but what's it going to be like for them to be in charge of 1 or 2 people, and how do we do that with certainly the 3 values I talk about: selfless service, courage, and commitment.
And finally, bagels, brunch, golf, and fishing.
$22.19. Third place, Arnie McDonald. Second place, Deb Goss. First place, Jerry Schneider.
I'm Lori Costello, and I'm the current First Lady, and I'd like to introduce our new First Lady, which is Mrs. Laura Peterson, and Laura will be taking over the reins tomorrow. And so we're right now at the First Lady's brunch, and we're just enjoying it, eating out, and having fun.
thanks to our sponsors for making this program possible. And this has been ViodiTV at WSTA.